2 events remain in the Trio Marble Championship games, and we welcome you to the penultimate one. It's the Aquathlon. The goal is to finish as fast as possible and have all 3 of your marbles cross the finish line before the other team. It will be a bracket-style event, and I have the championship scores pulled up here. We will be going live and seeing who can still win and who will be eliminated after every heat. You can see the stadium being filled up now. Here are the current championship standings. Magmatics lead by 9 points over the Wolf Warriors. 3 teams cannot win. All of them can still podium, but that will change after this event. You want to be within 20 points of the leader heading into the final event. So currently, you need to have at least 88 points to challenge into the final event. But as the Magmatics gain points, that gap, or I guess that bar to cross, will be higher unless they finish last place and another team takes the lead. We have an example around. The course is similar to swimming, but many, many more marbles will be on the course. Well, I guess not many more. We had 4 in swimming. We have 6 here, but it's a race between 2 teams. 3 from one, 3 from the other. The third marble is who you look for. So it doesn't really have to, you can win and you can get second place, but if your last marble's in 6th place, that's nothing for you. It really is a team event. Here we have the Polar Panthers and the Scientists. The Scientists cannot win, but they would still like the podium. Polar Panthers challenging now, but it's not a very good push by the team. The Scientists will move on. The Polar Panthers, that means they can get a maximum of 88 points heading into the final event, but that could be their championship hopes down the drain if the Magmatics gain any points. And that would also mean they'd have to have the fastest time out of all teams to not advance. So I'm going to assume that the Polar Panthers have been eliminated from winning. However, they can still podium as far as we know. The Scientists happy because their podium hopes are still alive, if but only by 3 points, because they're going to have to win out, and that third place team can only get 3 points. Now we have the Camos with a push here. It's not enough to beat... Oh, maybe it actually is enough to beat the Hummingbirds. Both teams in third and fourth, and they would love a couple extra points to close that gap. Did the Camos pull it off at the end? I think they might have. The Hummingbirds had a huge lead, but that third marble again straggled. And it really is a team effort. They did! The Camos are moving on. They're in 4th place, trumping the 3rd place Hummingbirds. And with the way the bracket is set up, having either one of them advance means that the Scientists can no longer podium. A little bit of salt in the wound for them is the Plasma Stripes, the host versus Lilac Lightning, who fell all the way to 5th place, but they're looking good here. Anything can happen as we go down to the wire. Lilac Lightning will advance. The Plasma Stripes can no longer win, and I'm going to assume they can no longer podium. The standings really are being cut in half here. We entered with 13 teams that can win. We are now down to 11. We've only had 3 heats. But a good performance from Lilac Lightning, who have been lacking in the last 2 events. They were leading the championship for, I believe, 7 events straight. Maybe even 8. Then the Hummingbirds took over. Then the Magmatics took over. And that's where we have stayed. The Magmatics had a decent, sizable gap up top. And they've been able to hold on to that throughout the entire competition. The Victor Trees and Team Antimatter. Both can still win, but both are lower in the standings. Whoever loses, I'm going to assume, will be eliminated from championship standings. This is a huge heat. Team Antimatter pushing ahead, and they will stay there. They're also above the Victor Trees in the standings. They are 10th, where the Victor Trees are 12th. And I'm going to say that guarantees, essentially, Victor Trees can no longer win. A good performance by Team Antimatter. They're still looking... If a win is not realistic for a team, they are still looking for a podium. And if they cannot even podium, they are just looking to finish as high as possible, mostly for pride. Even that top 5, top 10... what you want to aim for. The Scientists may not be able to win, may not be able to podium, but they would love a top 10 appearance, and it's still very much possible if they do well. Team Antimatter in the top 10, they're looking to stay there, perhaps push into the top half, and if anything, get on the podium. We have the Laser Lights and the Electrolytes. Laser Lights cannot win, the Electrolytes can, so they're really hoping they can advance after this heat. I'm not so sure if they will be able to. The Laser Lights, one of the 2 teams still with no medals. The other, surprisingly, the Victor Trees. You would have thought by now they would have a medal, but they're doing very good without one. Lots of 4th place finishes. Electrolytes, on the other hand, they have a single silver medal heading into this event. That's all they're going to have going into the final event. They're sitting in 7th, and they will be moving down, I would assume. Team Antimatter, under them, has moved on. They could still get passed by the Polar Panthers because they're only 3 points ahead of them. The Laser Lights, I believe this means they can still podium because we have yet to see the Wolf Warriors move on. Now we have both red teams up in here. The Magmatics lead the championship, and if they get eliminated here, which they will, because that is a great margin by the Red Rogues, if they get eliminated here, that opens up the field and lets more teams advance into the final event with the possibility of winning, as long as a team like the Wolf Warriors doesn't win and stretch that lead even more. But the Red Rogues did the dirty work for the rest of the league. They're sitting in 9th at 81 points. And they have that 7 guaranteed. But again, anything the Magmatics get here will add on to their lead and make it even harder for the other teams to come back. But a good performance for the Red Rogues, having all 3 of their marbles finished before all 3 of the Magmatics. A disappointing performance from the Magmatics, who won the water race last time. Now we have the Surfers and the Ferocious Flames. The Surfers cannot win. Ferocious Flames still very much can, and they're pushing through here. Can they finish strong? It looks like they will just edge out the Surfers, unless that marble on the far right fell back far enough to be overtaken. I did not see it. I'll have to check the replay. Ferocious Flames sit up in 6th place, surprisingly with only a single silver. The Surfers have a silver and a bronze and sit in 14th. Is it enough for the Ferocious Flames here? Actually, it might not have been. No, they will push on. Ferocious Flames in 6th place will advance and likely pass the Hummingbirds because that top race is pretty close. Magmatics hoping that these other teams keep getting eliminated. Wolf Warriors up in here. They would really hope for the Wolf Warriors to be eliminated. They're against Winfinity, who are one of the final teams that can still win. And Winfinity is pushing through here. They're going to lose, actually. Just across the line, the Wolf Warriors push ahead. That gap will be closing up top, but by how much we will have to see. Team Antimatter, I assume, is going to be the last team that can win now, because 10th on down, I don't think can win anymore. Winfinity is out of the championship as far as I'm concerned. The Victor Trees are out. The Plasma Stripes are out. I believe the Polar Panthers are out. And the Electrolytes might still have a chance, but it's not in their favor. Everyone else, so about half the standings, can still win, and it will be 14th place, meaning 110 points. The goal is you have to have 90 points after this event to move on. I didn't actually catch if the Electrolytes made it or not, but the Wolf Warriors would love to win here. Scientists trying everything they can to stop them. Will they be able to? They will not. The Wolf Warriors stretching that gap even further because now they are guaranteed top 4 and with a 75% chance of the medal. I think we will have a new leader after this event. The Scientists now can no longer podium, because I'm going to assume after this event the podium will be the Magmatics, Wolf Warriors, and the Camos, unless the Ferocious Flames get a gold medal, in which case they could potentially knock the Magmatics straight off the podium. But the amount of teams that can win has dwindled, and now as these podium teams advance, or these teams in contention podium, the amount of teams that will not be able to podium is going to advance as well. They're going to become even larger. The Ferocious Flames and the Camos. The Camos, not with a great start, but can they finish strong? Both these teams up top in 4th and 6th place. The Camos will push across, head to the Final 4. And that pretty much guarantees them a spot on the podium. The Ferocious Flames will not be able to, but they will still be able to win everything, championship. Barring a gold medal from the Camos or something, or a gold medal from the Wolf Warriors, I guess. If the Wolf Warriors do win a gold medal, they will be sitting at 119 points, and the gap for entry will be 99 points. The only 2 teams going into this event with more than that are the Magmatics and the Wolf Warriors, which would mean, at the minimum, I believe the Camos would still be able to win. If the Wolf Warriors get gold, I believe 3 teams can still win. If not, we will have a lot more than that. Lilac Lightning is still here. They're a top team. They're sitting down in, I believe, 5th place. And they're hoping to get back into that top 4, and they will. With this one, I assume, that will be enough points to pass the Hummingbirds no matter what. The Hummingbirds will be falling to 5th minimum, probably 6th under the Ferocious Flames. Not many of those lower teams ended up going far, so it really is a race between these higher teams and Team Antimatter, who are still left in here, I believe, who sit in 10th place. The Laserlights also, I guess, the winner of Laserlights, Team Antimatter, will be real underdogs going into this final round with the Wolf Warriors, the Camos, and Lilac Lightning. All 3 of whom are gunning for the Magmatics first overall. Now the winner here can't really do much in the standings unless it's Team Antimatter, who could potentially go on to podium. But they would like to kind of stratify the field and stop another team from advancing. These 2 colors are so similar, I apologize. I'm going to have to check the replay to get a better view of this. Team Antimatter on the top. I believe it'll be them who advance. Unless one of the marbles got pushed to the back, and I just didn't see. But actually, it will be the Laserlights advancing. I think that's the marble from Team Antimatter. The Laserlights down in 15th place. Now with another 75% chance of medaling. They have yet to medal with 2 events left. They would love to have, their fans would love to have something to cheer about. They're one of the teams where you kind of feel bad for them at the bottom and with no medals. At least the Scientists in last place have a silver. Now it's the Wolf Warriors and the Laserlights. The best team left versus the worst team left. 2nd versus 15th. Can they knock the Wolf Warriors off? It will be a close one, but it'll not be enough. The Wolf Warriors with a silver minimum. I believe a silver gets you 17 points, which means at the minimum, they will have 116 points, meaning the barrier for entry is 96 points. It's looking more and more like only 5 teams will be able to win this. Potentially 6. I think that essentially guarantees Team Antimatter can no longer win. I don't know about podiuming, but now we have the Camos and Lilac Lightning. Whoever wins this has a very favorable advantage over the other heading into the final event. It is one you want to win. It'll be the Lilac Lightning finally clawing their way back up to the top. The Camos eliminated, but they will go to the third place match against the Laser Lights. Lilac Lightning head to the final against the Wolf Warriors. It's very reminiscent of the early events where they were the top 2 teams. The Wolf Warriors have never fallen off, but I believe they have also never led the championship standings. They will after this event. By how much we are yet to see. If the Lilac Lightning can overtake them, it will not be by very much. They currently sit 9 points ahead of Lilac Lightning in the standings. The gap would be down to 6. If Lilac Lightning get the gold here, the gap would be 12 otherwise. Now the bronze medal match, the Camos would love these extra points. And Laser Lights know they cannot win, they know they cannot podium, but they would love to get a medal. It will not be enough. Another 4th place for the Laser Lights. They will head into the final event, one of 2 teams yet to medal, and the Camos will get the bronze here. This sets us up for a very interesting final event that might be enough for the Camos. No, it will not be. They will not pass the Magmatics, but they will be tied with the score the Magmatics had going into this event. So they will be 2 behind them after. Lilac Lightning and the Wolf Warriors, I believe, will both pass the Magmatics. Actually, Lilac Lightning will not. Magmatics has a sizable lead over everybody else. The Camos celebrating like crazy over a bronze medal because that gap just needs to close. Lilac Lightning need a gold here to stop the Wolf Warriors from a 12-point gap over them. It looks like they're going to do so. Lilac Lightning out to the front. Can they hold on to it? Yes, it'll be close, but yes, they can. They finally recapture Lightning in a bottle, and it's in the water race, the Aquathlon. And they have done it. They have earned their 3rd gold medal this tournament. They have won almost a quarter. Well, they have won a quarter of the 12 events that are going to happen. They could potentially win 4 heading into this final event. They will not be first in the standings, but I believe that will tie them with Magmatics, and they will win off of medal count. They will be potentially up there in 2nd. What an event for those top 2 teams, the Wolf Warriors, Lilac Lightning, even the Camos. Up there in contention, the Ferocious Flames, I believe, can still win the Hummingbirds, and now the Magmatics. The 6 up there fighting for the championship spots. The Lilac Lightning strike again, and they will get the gold medal over the Wolf Warriors, Camos, Laser Lights, Red Rogues, Team Antimatter Scientists, and Ferocious Flames in the top 8. Magmatics down there in 14th. What will this do to the standings? The Wolf Warriors unsurprisingly lead over the Lilac Lightning, who tie Magmatics on medal count, then the Camos, the Hummingbirds, and the Ferocious Flames, the only 6 that can still win the competition. We will see you in the 12th and final event.